Finally, Chapter 16 of Boruto is out. In it, Shikamaru has a heart-to-heart with Sarada, and Boruto's training with Hiraishin is revealed. Additionally, there's a chat between Kashin Koji and Shikamaru. So, if you want to know more about this chapter, don't leave the video. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on everything happening in Boruto. Starting with the cover, this time it features Ida. After that, we jump into a flashback of Boruto training with Kashin Koji. Kashin Koji explains about space-time ninjutsu, which allows transferring anything to another dimension. This ability, like flying, is a natural characteristic of the Otsutsukis. He says that Boruto had already awakened this technique before, but under limited circumstances. The good news is that, after 6 years, future Boruto has managed to master the technique. By modifying it to become Hiraishin, and with Kashin Koji's help, the time required will be much shorter. Then Kashin Koji simplifies things, stating that Boruto just needs to concentrate his chakra on the metal of the kunai and feel the energy. With this, he can move instantly. He also explains that this is the technique of the Flying Thunder God. Boruto is surprised. Kashin Koji mentions Minato and says that Boruto doesn't really know this jutsu, but he created a variation while trying to master space-time ninjutsu, thus ending up creating his own variation of the jutsu. Boruto is astonished and thinks about how genius this is. In the next scene, we see Boruto actually training. He is doing hand seals and throwing kunai. Kashin Koji says that future Boruto, after several trials and errors, discovered that the best way to use this technique is to use metal as a conductor. Then Boruto asks if he can do the same with his sword, and Koji responds affirmatively. Any metallic object can be used, from utensils to other things, and if the object is within his line of sight, teleportation becomes easier. Then Boruto asks what is meant by within visible range. Kashin Koji explains that if Boruto has 2 kunai close to each other, one in the north and the other in the south, he won't know which one he will teleport to. The distance makes it hard to discern which kunai will be chosen. Then comes the part about the brooches that Boruto uses to teleport. Koji explains that it took future Boruto some time to come up with this idea, but it allows him to focus on a specific brooch for more precise teleportation. With that, he just needs to visualize the chosen shape to know exactly where he is going. For example, for Himawari, he could use the sun symbol, and for Konoha, the village's symbol. He can also create symbols for other people, and as long as he remembers which symbol it is, teleportation becomes easier and more precise. Boruto thinks this idea is excellent, but Kashin Koji warns that the farther away, the harder it is to teleport and it takes more time. Koji then mentions again that he is teaching him things that he would only master in the future. After training, the two return to the hideout. Boruto asks about Kashin Koji's powers and why he won't share what will happen in the future for everyone to cooperate. Koji answers that the more people know, the worse it will be, as they would act differently, altering the future and creating branches that would make their predictions impossible. Koji states that his destiny is to help Boruto build a better future by supporting him from the shadows. They are the singularities of fate, charting a different path and breaking away from what is written. He concludes by saying that sooner or later, Ida will see this conversation. We return to the present where Ida is with Sarada and Shikamaru, watching this event unfold. After seeing that Ida seems thoughtful, Sarada asks if she has discovered something about Boruto, and Ida reveals that Boruto doesn't want to share much information to keep them safe. Sarada worries, saying he is handling everything alone and that they need to be by his side. Shikamaru then says she thinks Boruto doesn't want them to know something. Although they are publicly by his side, concerning important issues, they don't know anything. This allows Boruto to act freely. Therefore, he believes that not pursuing Boruto right now is the right thing to do. Sarada disagrees, arguing that without their help, Boruto might have died earlier, referring to the wound caused by Jura. She emphasizes that facing such powerful opponents alone is very risky. Shikamaru raises the hypothesis that if they hadn't been with him, maybe things would have happened differently. And in my opinion, this makes sense since Boruto had to save everyone that day, including Sarada. The truth is that currently, Sarada is not a force capable of facing enemies of Hidari's level, not with what she's shown so far. Shikamaru then questions whether Sarada has ever thought about how Boruto feels, asking her if she thinks he's doing all this of his own will, and if she's ever considered how difficult it is to want to say something but can't. Shikamaru adds that it's not just about what Boruto feels, but also how she feels about him, since she has feelings for him. Even so, Sarada jumped into his arms right in front of her. In this tense atmosphere, Ida observes everything without reaction. Although surprised, she is also excited about the situation. After this, Sumire apologizes and says that it's not the right time to discuss this, getting up to leave, even with Sarada asking her to wait. Soon after, Shikamaru calls Ida to talk, and we also see a meeting of the village elders of the Leaf, those old men who seem to be immortal. In the conversation, they, along with the leader of the Land of Fire, discuss Boruto, and the leader complains about the village's failure to capture him, even when he was in the village. He warns that if the situation isn't resolved soon, he will have to pass this responsibility on to suitable individuals. I'm not sure who he's thinking of, as I currently see few people in Konoha who could really capture Boruto, and if we consider ninjas who are not from Konoha, the number of capable individuals drops drastically, if there are any that could capture him at all. Following this dialogue, we see Shikamaru and Ida. He asks about the situation in the Sand Village, and she reveals that, as he suspected, a new Shinju, the Ryu, is active and its target is Gaara. Therefore, Shikamaru decides to organize a mission there immediately. Ida informs that these events occurred a few hours ago, and there is a problematic Shinju in this group. When she tries to see something in real time with her Senrigan, he ends up noticing, and she doesn't know what could happen if she continues observing, so she can only view past recordings. Shikamaru says that recordings from a few hours ago aren't harmful, and the report is already a great help. Ida mentions she knows he gave up on killing Boruto since he used Mitsuki to release him. Shikamaru tries to change the subject, but Ida insists she won't tell anyone. Then she remembers Boruto and admits, thinking out loud, that above all, she doesn't want to hurt him. I believe this could be a sign of guilt for what she did, and perhaps it's a sign that she is starting to confuse her feelings regarding Kawaki and Boruto. I don't think she will swap Kawaki for Boruto, but it seems she will be confused for a while. Kawaki, besides being a jerk, doesn't pay attention to her, and his actions don't please her, as has been shown in previous chapters. Ida continues, saying that Kawaki also agreed to cooperate with Boruto for now. Shikamaru then mentions a secret collaborator of Boruto, and due to the frogs, deduces that it's Kashin Koji. Ida confirms, and at this moment a frog from Kashin Koji appears in her hair. Then, Kashin Koji says that for the mission in the Sand Village to be successful, he must send Konohamaru, Mitsuki, and Sarada. Shikamaru tries to contest, asking for explanations, but Kashin Koji says he won't explain anything, just that he must follow his instructions if he wants everything to go well. He also warns that Team 7 and Shinki's team are likely to team up to confront Matsuri and Ryu. Above all, he must not let Himawari leave the village because if that happens, Jura will come after her and kill her. If anyone encounters Jura, they shouldn't fight against him or make him angry. Otherwise, the chances of winning are 1 in a million. Kashin Koji's frog starts to leave and thanks Shikamaru for helping Boruto, even going against logic and rules. He tells Shikamaru to keep following his heart. After this phrase, follow your heart, Ida looks thoughtful, while Sumire, a bit reluctant, reflects on what just happened between her and Sarada. Next, we see Mitsuki, Sarada, and Konohamaru already in the Sand Village. Sarada is pensive and reluctant, probably reflecting on what occurred with Sumire and beginning to question her feelings for Boruto. Konohamaru warns her not to get distracted and to focus on the mission, or they could end up being the subject of jokes in the Sand Village. At this moment, Yodo and Araya join them, and they all head towards the coordinates given by Shikamaru. While Konohamaru keeps watch, Yodo goes to talk to Sarada, commenting that her energy has changed and asking if she likes someone. Sarada, a bit nervous, denies it, and Yodo replies that she understands, not that she cares much. It's as if she wants to affirm that she understood Sarada is in love, but Sarada herself hasn't recognized it yet. Soon, Konohamaru spots Matsuri and Ryu, together with a dead frog that seems to belong to Kashin Koji. Then, Matsuri comments that this, referring to the frog, is a clue that will connect them to Boruto. And so, the chapter and this video are coming to an end. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching up to this point, and see you in the next video.